Hey everybody, what is going on? It's Brian with you from TheGameCommon, and we are playing some more Civilization 6. Or rather, we're going to be observing some Civilization 6. So with our Mexico modded playthrough coming to a close, I needed something to kind of bridge the gap between now and Rise and Fall when it comes out in February. So basically, I have decided to pit all of the AI against each other in a real-world map with real starting positions to see who comes out on top. So we ended up picking up all the civilizations, and then we have a couple of the modded civilizations as well to kind of add in a little more flavor. So before we get into the game, I'll show you what mods I have enabled. So we have the 8 Ages of Pace. I left that one on because I think that's going to balance out the game a little more and maybe slow down the game just a hair. We also have the Cheyenne and also the Navajo Native American civilizations, both of those mods enabled. We have the autoplay, which is going to allow us to basically watch them. We have the Philippines still turned on. I turned off the less barbarians, whatever. We have Mexico still turned on. We have North Korea turned on. However, we're only going to use one North Korea. I turned off the religion one because whatever. And I also turned off the resource one because I don't want to mess up the balance anymore. So essentially what we have is we have 31 civilizations that are going to be fighting with each other. We are technically playing as Alexander, but we're not going to be doing anything. I also only turned on one of the Greece civilizations. So we turned off Gorgo and we turned on Pericles. So we left him on instead. I figured that might fit a little bit better with Alexander right next to him. I don't know. We'll have to see. So all total, we have 31 total civilizations. We also turned on North Korea. You have 3 different North Korea civilizations you get to pick from with that mod. I took Kim Jong-un just because I figured he would be the most fun. Basically, he hates everyone, so I think that'll be rather entertaining to see what he does. I also don't know how many city-states there are in the game, so I have 31 turned on right now. And everyone has true starting locations. I did a quick test run. I should know this game's probably going to crash once or twice, just because it's not the most stable mod, the autoplay. But anyways, the only thing that seems to be off a little bit is Mexico actually spawns in South America. But I think that's okay because otherwise Pedro would have the entire continent to himself. And I think it's because Mexico probably has the same starting location as the Aztecs. So we're going to go ahead and hit start game, and I'm going to put a cut in the video and we'll be back in as soon as the game starts. So we are back, and you'll notice that it is turn 2. So basically turn 1, the autoplay was going. I canceled the autoplay, and then I turned on console commands and revealed all so we could see the entire map. Unfortunately, when that happens, then I have to go through every cutscene of every character saying, hey, you met them. So instead of basically showing all of that, I spared you guys having to escape through all that. Now we're on turn 2. So let's take a quick look at the world map. Remember, we are playing as Alexander, so anytime we stop the autoplay, it's going to hover over us. So we have Alexander right here, we have Greece right next to them, we have a couple city-states nearby, so this should be an early potential issue, like we could see an early war between these guys. Over here we have Persia and Samaria right next to each other, then we have Arabia kind of down here, and they have all of Saudi Arabia kind of to themselves to begin with Jerusalem up there. Then Egypt's over here, and we have Nubia down to their south. And then all of the Sahara and West Africa are pretty wide open right now. I don't know why Brussels is down here, because isn't Brussels up in Europe? Yes? Brussels, whatever. I know it's not there. And then we have Congo, who actually is one of my early picks for who's gonna win, because they have the entirety of South Africa and then Tanzania all to themselves. And really, they just have Egypt and Nubia to kind of worry about. So I think they would be a potential pick for who's gonna win, what civilization will win. Over here to the east, we have India, and then to their east is Khmer, sorry. And then what's gonna be rather interesting to see is we have the Philippines and we have Indonesia down here, and they have some islands to themselves, but I don't know that they're going to have an easy time expanding, so they're going to be someone to kind of keep an eye on. Up north, we have China over here with North Korea, and then South Korea city-state, and then Japan's over here with an island to themselves. So Japan has some room to expand. China has a ton of freaking room to expand, so they definitely have a good shot. We also have Scythia over here, who has a ton of rooms because they have all these Russian steppes that they can expand in. Then we have Russia over here and Poland. So really, any one of these civilizations could definitely take a huge lead. We have Germany over here, then we have Norway, which is up over here, and they're in an interesting spot because they don't have a lot of room up here. So they're either going to have to come down here and compete with Germany, or they may have to come over here and fight with London. So that's going to be kind of fun, England rather, fun to see what happens over there. Paris has some nice room, so they can carve out a decent sized civilization themselves. And then we have Madrid over here, who has all of Spain to themselves. Well, Spain rather. And so they have a nice decent area as well. And then Rome is kind of over here, and it's going to be interesting to see what Rome does. So then continuing east from where we left off, we have down south, we have Australia with the entire Australia to themselves. So that should be a good starting location for them. Then we have America over here on the East Coast, and then we have our two Native American tribes. We have the Navajo over there, and then we have the Cheyenne over here. So I like having this mod on because it's going to give America basically some people to compete against. So that's good. Then we have the Aztecs down here in Mexico, and so they basically have almost all of this Central America to themselves. And then we have Mexico down in South America, like I mentioned. They're actually in Brazil, but I think it's good to have them enabled because they're going to basically be a competition to Brazil. Otherwise, Brazil would have the entirety of South America to themselves, and I think they would be a trendy pick. So that's kind of how the map lays out. I'm interested to see who your guys' picks are. We're going to autoplay it where we'll have 25, 30-minute episodes each, and we're going to kind of see where everyone ends up. My initial pick, if I had to pick anyone, oh, wow, that's really freaking cool. Those are the... Is that the Dover? Yeah, those are cliffs of Dover. That's really cool. So if I had to pick anyone, my pick is going to be Congo. I feel like Congo's in a very strong starting position. Although they don't have any oil, I do have to say that. They really don't have any oil unless they push up here. Actually, where was the oil up here? Actually, we can't see the oil right now because we're playing as Alexander. But I think they're going to be kind of my pick, at least initially, for who I feel like has a chance to actually win the game. Okay, so turn on automation. So this is going to be a fun time to see if it crashes, which it's not. So we're going to turn off autoplay. We can have the camera kind of running by itself, and it'll pop in, and if anything major happens, I think we'll see it. But more likely than not, we're just going to kind of keep scrolling through and just letting the AI kind of do its thing. So what's going to be interesting is see who is going to expand quickly. In my test game, it was actually Spain. Spain was actually the first one to throw down a second civilization. One thing to keep in mind, we're really going to have to pay attention to the barbarians and see if anyone finds themselves in an awkward situation with barbarians. Now, what's funny is I'm trying to think, but I think right now Greece and Macedon might be the only two civilizations that are like right on each other's borders. No, we do have Persia. We do have Persia and Samaria. They are right next to each other too, so that should be interesting. Now, in also my test game, Khmer actually pushed west, and they actually did a very aggressive expand over here against India. So we'll have to see if that maintains, if that happens again. And then also China went north and kind of boxed in North Korea, which I found kind of hilarious. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye out. We'll have to kind of tab in. I'll be trying to look here on the mini map to see what happens. Also, if we see anyone, if anyone declares war on each other, it will pop up here where it says the turn. So I will try paying attention to that, but I am probably going to miss one or two simply because I may be looking elsewhere on the map. So Poland's actually pushing hard right now against Hatsu. So I don't need to push H for help, so we're good there. Has anyone thrown down a second settler yet? And doesn't look like it. We are only, what, turn 8, turn 9, so they should be popping out here pretty quickly. We are playing on, what was it, Prince difficulty. Essentially, I didn't want to give the AI a bunch of bonuses, because if we would have started on higher difficulty, they would have started with extra settlers, and I didn't really want them to have that. Since we're not playing the game, it should be okay to have them on normal difficulty. The only question is, will they get run over by the barbarians, which is a potential. I also feel like the Aztecs have a very strong start. Like, they could really set themselves up well because they start with such a strong unit with the Eagle Warrior in the beginning of the game. Same thing with Samaria and their war carts. They both have a really strong initial chance to just basically carve out a large empire for them. So we'll have to see. Actually, sorry, yeah, it's Samaria that has the war carts. Yeah, you can see them already there. We got quite a bit of oil here in the Sahara, so Congo can come up here. They have a shot. They have a really good shot. Is there any oil down here? Not that I can see. One thing I was noticing is I couldn't find any uranium. I think all the resources are by default where they're supposed to be. However, I did not see any uranium when I was looking earlier in my test play. So we have some oil up north up here. So and then there was some in the Gulf Coast, but America doesn't really start with any oil off their east coast, so they're going to have to expand a little bit if they would like to get some oil, for late game at least. Still doesn't look like anyone has actually expanded, so they're all moving a little bit slower than I think on my previous playthrough. They're knocking out some barbarians. Okay, so that's good. They're keeping control of the barbarians over there, and I really don't see too many barbarian encampments up, so I feel like everyone started with quite a few warriors. Now this is interesting. Greece is actually taking some of Macedon's units, and what's probably more important is they actually took one of the horses from them. So that's going to put them behind the 8 ball because they're not going to be able to build any of their stronger horse units. Yeah, and there's no second horses anywhere nearby. So it's going to be interesting to see how they expand. Basically, because they're surrounded by city-states in Greece, so they're kind of in an awkward spot, and they actually just got their second settler, so if they can get a second city going pretty quick in an advantageous spot, that might be good for them. France also is about to settle, so France might actually be number 1 here in throwing down a second city-state, unless we have any down here. Didn't look like it, and up here doesn't look like it, so it looks like France is going to be taking the first, being the first civilization with 2 cities. So let's see where they actually settle it. Last time they settled down here on the coast, and this is probably where they're shooting for right here because they're on the river and on the coast. They also have 2 sources of cattle over here. I don't know if they can see the gypsum. Probably can. Is this snow? No, this is salt. I think salt's enabled. Oh no, they settled off the coast. All right, they're on 2 rivers, so good for them. Macedon has a ton of freaking troops right now. Now, I think what Macedon needs to do is they need to declare war on Yerevan and take it over ASAP. That would probably be strong for them. Just simply so that they have a little more room to expand. I think in my test playthrough, they actually were trading with Yerevan, which would probably not be a good idea for them long term. But hey, we'll see. We'll see. Congo does have a second settler up. Well, I guess it's their first settler up, technically. Khmer does not have anything yet. China is going north once again. So they're trying to box in North Korea once again. Japan is getting ready to throw down their second city. Our Native American tribes do not have a second settler up. Aztecs do, and they're pushing up into Texas. So this should be Texas right here. That looks like the Rio Grande. Washington and Philly. So, okay, America did throw down Philadelphia, so they have 2 cities. So America is keeping pace now. If I had to guess on the leaders right now, it's probably going to be either France or America. Rome's about to throw down a second one, and we can actually go ahead and stop the autoplay and take a quick look at who is leading. Macedon still hasn't thrown down their city. The interesting point is I don't think they can settle any of this land here because all of these cities are right there. So we can actually click on their settler and see. Yeah, so the only places they can settle right here are in Crete or up here to the north. They're really boxed in pretty badly. That's interesting. Same thing with Greece. Greece doesn't have many areas to grow themselves, so they're actually coming up here, which is going to actually put them on the doorstep of Rome, which could be interesting. So this is a very interesting part of the world here, because the only way they grow is going to be declaring war on each other. And I would have to say Samaria and Alexander have the advantage in any sort of war, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Interesting. Samaria is actually pushing south now. So we'll have to see where they go with their cities. So right now, Science Alexander currently is leading. Culture Victory is Alexander. Domination is Alexander. And Religious is Alexander. Most likely what's happening here is they're first alphabetically, so that's why they're leading. Score-wise, Alexander is actually number 1, so there you go. As for great people, have we seen any yet? Yes. John Curtin actually got a great prophet, so they actually have the ability to found a religion. And technology-wise, let's see. They have spearmen here. Do they have any early strong units? Heavy chariot, doesn't look like it. Where are their... Okay, right here. The Hittori, which replaces the horsemen, is actually right there. And then the Hippocypist, I don't actually know how to say that. That replaces their swordmen. So when they get up here to the Bronze Age, they're going to be really, really freaking strong. So I think with that, let's go ahead and start the autoplay again. And I'm kind of intrigued to see Australia. So they have a religion down here. Yep, and they're about to found a religion. They have John the Baptist. So they actually built Stonehenge down here. So that's why. Ooh, what is this? Is this uranium? That's uranium. Ooh, okay. So Australia has some uranium to begin with. Our Philippine and Indonesian nations have not had the chance to expand. India is actually looking to go east this time, and Khmer is actually going south. So this is going to play out a little bit differently than my test playthrough. I'm still intrigued to see where the heck Alexander is going with his settler right now. Egypt is actually looking to go south, it looks like. Huh. I wonder why not over here, west. I don't know where you're going, but that's a pretty aggressive expand. Congo does have two cities up right now, and Spain still only has the 1. Interesting. So Spain is falling a little bit behind. England is going for number 2. Norway is also going for number 2. Poland has their 2 up. Russia does have 2. Scythia does have 2. Now, what's rather interesting about this is Scythia is kind of starting to box in Russia. So Russia may find themselves boxed in here before too long if they're not careful. China has boxed in North Korea, but North Korea is going west of them. So we're going to have some border tension here, most definitely, before too long. Japan has its 2 cities up, and Japan could be a trendy pick, honestly, because they have this nice little island to themselves, and they have West America. North America, but the west side of North America pretty well. Like, they could easily expand over here pretty easily. Especially up here where Alaska would be and stuff like that. Our Native American tribes both have their second settler up, but they have not put a second city down. Mexico did settle in West Texas, so there you go. And America actually is looking to go with number 3. So America is about to throw down Boston or New York as their 3rd city. Same thing with France. They're about to get 3 up as well. Anything fun happening? I don't think so. I don't think we've seen any wars yet. As far as I know. Where did Alexander actually go with his settler? He's down here. Are you going all the way into Africa with that? Oof. That's bad. That's bad. But Greece did get their second city up, so they did find that little spot for them to settle. Man, there's all this room in Russia. Man, someone's going to get huge here. Okay, so Indonesia actually, or sorry, that's Philippines. They actually do have a settler up. Now the question is, can they actually settle? Can they actually go into the water yet? And I don't know. Australia is about to throw down a second city, so good for them, good for them. Did America get New York? No, they got Baltimore up. Okay, so America very quickly has 3 cities up, and I think the same thing's true with France here. Nope, France still only has 2. Spain still only has 1, so we're noticing that the AI is playing a little different. And what? Why'd you put Thebes way the heck down there? All right. So that kind of leaves this whole area open to Macedon if they want it. Okay, this is going to be a rather interesting expansion for Macedon. Greece also has another settler up, so, this is going to be really interesting. Let's go ahead and quick autoplay once again, and let's kind of see if Greece has any ability to throw their settler down up here. I don't know if any of this area right here is settleable. Settlable? Able to be settled. How about that? There you go. That makes more sense. Okay, so where the heck are you going, Macedon? We're still waiting for the autoplay to end, or the turn to end, I guess. Got some nice aluminum up here. Gosh, Scythia is going to be scary here. Man, I may have to change my pick to Scythia. Because do they have horses? I mean, that's kind of the big deal. Do they have access to horses? They have cattle. They have cattle. They have a bunch of freaking cattle. They may not have access to horses. So if they don't have access to horses, then yeah, it doesn't look like they actually have access to horses. So they might not be able to run away with the game. So Macedon is going. All right. I suppose that's okay. They're going to end up going right by a barbarian encampment. That does not seem like a good choice, Macedon, if I were you. I would probably just settle right there. But all right. All right. That's a thing, I guess. And then there's one tile there. And what's interesting for Greece is they only have a couple tiles. They could go to Crete. They could come way over here. But already you're seeing Eastern Europe is just like completely maxed out. And Norway hasn't even gotten a second city down. So that's going to be rather interesting. England's also not really going to be able to expand much more either. Same thing with France. And Spain, what happened? Why is Spain completely boxed in? Well, they have Barcelona over here. And then I think Seville is down here. I forgot my Spanish. So, well, it's kind of tight over here. America still has a bunch of Canada to expand to, also Florida. But America is getting filled up pretty quickly as well, and same thing with Japan. So, ironically, the world is actually getting pretty filled up here. India has some good spots still to settle. We have some spots over here in Saudi Arabia, and then Eastern Africa, and then Southern Africa is basically wide open for the taking. Same thing with West Africa, so we'll have to see. Let's go ahead and autoplay again, and let's see what is going to happen. So we can go ahead and turn on the camera for now and see what happens. I don't think anyone, I should have taken a look and see if anyone actually declared war on anyone. Mexico City, oh, you know, that's one spot we haven't actually looked yet. Let's take a look at South America. So we got 2 cities for Mexico. Ah, crap. We're going to have to stop the autoplay because we have the settlers. I mean, maybe that's not the worst thing going, but we do have Mexico City down here with 2 towns, and Brazil has 2 towns. But there's not a lot of areas to settle, and there are some barbarians there. Keep in mind, Central America is also wide open for the taking for the most part, too. Okay, so let us... Calm down. Let us actually take a look at religion. So right now, we only have Catholicism, rather, and that's from Australia. So, interesting. Any other great people recruited yet? No. Is anyone at war with each other? What's interesting is everyone hates Alexander, but let's scroll through people real quick and see if anyone has actually declared war on anyone yet. And I don't think so. I've not been paying super close attention. Actually looks like everyone's pretty happy with everyone. So that's the Philippines. Let's go North Korea. North Korea hates everyone. We already have some friendships, which is rather interesting to note this early in the game. So we don't have any wars quite yet. So, all right, good to know. Let's go ahead and start the autoplay once again. I forgot to see what turn we were on. But we're not that far in. We're probably, what, turn 15 or so? So, over to the east, we still have a ton of area over here to expand. I mean, my gosh. Scythia's... Oh, China declared war on North Korea, and Rome has declared war on Greece. Oh, snap. Okay, so this is very interesting, because number one, if Rome weakens Greece, Alexander actually could push in and maybe take Athens. We'll have to see if Athens tries capitalizing on that. Over here with China and North Korea, I mean, if China can knock out North Korea, they have no competition anywhere on this side of the map. You have Japan there, but China could seriously swell out of control. They're actually trying to throw down another settler here. And they're actually trying to take on Nampo. And they might be able to actually take it over. North Korea does have some troops, and they may be able to take Jiadong. And Jiadong? I don't know. I'm not really good with Chinese. So, let's come check on Rome. How's their war going? I don't know that they can actually... They're shooting at them from across the sea. But right now, they would have to get through Germany. And I doubt that they actually have open borders with Germany. Do they have the tech to actually cross the sea is the other question. Because they would want to settle over here in Naples. I forgot what's this island called. I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, let's go back over here and keep an eye on China and North Korea. North Korea is... Ooh, snap. So China is about to take over Nampo. But North Korea is pushing really hard at Jiadong. So I wonder if they're just going to swap cities. China did take over Nampo. So can they come down here and fight off North Korea? This could actually be an early loss to North Korea. which would be a little disappointing, I'd have to be honest. I would love to see North Korea develop some nukes. Are there any uranium over here? Doesn't look like it. It would be rather fun to actually watch North Korea go nuclear. So Aztecs actually have 3 towns up. Interesting. Both of our Native Americans do have 2 towns now. America is still holding with 3. Question is, Paris still only has 2. Or sorry, France. Nope. Wow, they actually settled aggressively down in Spain. Ooh, so Spain is pretty much trapped right now. Because Barcelona is pretty much knocked out now out of, like, you're not going to be able to settle over here in Barcelona. So unless Spain comes over here to Africa or south part of the continent, they are also building the Great Library too. Nope, the Oracle, sorry. That's the Oracle. So we'll have to see. Down here, everything seems to be okay. Congo has 3 towns, and they're about to throw down number 4. Is Alexander still hanging out around here? I do not see their troops anywhere. Oh, there they are. Macedon. So, yep, they're still going. How is this war going? Seems pretty even. Doesn't seem like anyone's doing anything. Up here with China. Although China almost lost Jiadong, they were able to push them back. But they do not really have too many warriors on the front right now. So, I think China's definitely going to have taken over Nampo. The question is, will they be able to piece them out? Ooh, Persia declared war on India. Let's go ahead and stop the auto on that. Persia and India are now at war. And that's very bad for India. Because Persia is really freaking strong to begin with. And they're right on their border, too. Actually, no, sorry. Samaria is the one with the war cards. Okay, so no, that's actually not that bad for India. All right, so that India may be okay there. Alexander, I don't know what you're doing right now. Can I see who I'm at war with? No, I'd have to click through everyone. So that's gonna be a little annoying. So let's see. With Persia probably looking to settle somewhere down there. Saudi Arabia is looking to settle down there. We still have the southern tip of India that's wide open. Khmer is actually expanding north up into China, so that's rather interesting as well. Scythia has been holding tight, though. They only have 2 provinces. Russia's up to, or cities. Russia's up to 3. Poland's up to 3. Poland actually could be really strong here. Norway does have their 2. What's going to be really interesting is, are they going to push over here towards Germany? I'm not sure about that. England has their 3rd. Over on the west coast, or sorry, the western hemisphere, right? America's in the western hemisphere? Yes. We have still 3 cities for America. Native American, both of the tribes only have 2. Aztecs have 3. I wonder if they're going to push through La Venta and try settling down here. Also, keep in mind, we have Cuba and the Bahamas are wide open, and that's going to be good for someone. Mexico City is actually fighting some barbarians here. Are they actually at war? We do have Brazil, which they are at war with Mexico, who apparently shows up as Egypt. Okay, so these guys are actually fighting against each other. If one of the 2 can actually come out as the winner, that's going to be really good. Like, they have the chance to get really, really strong. So I don't think there's really much else for us to pay attention to. I am intrigued to see if China's going to push all the way in and knock out North Korea, or if they're going to instead piece them out here pretty soon. So we're at 25 minutes. We'll probably go a couple more minutes and kind of see where this, where everyone kind of ends up. I'm intrigued to see about this war right here. India is actually pushing north to settle again. I wonder why not south. They have all this wonderful area there. Maybe they're just trying to run away. Now, India has no troops. They have 1 archer right now. So they're in a really awkward spot. Because Persia does have quite a bit of army right now. And it actually appears that Delhi is going to fall. It almost seems inevitable. With that many warriors around, I don't know that they can actually fight them off. So Persia's about to get really big because they're about to settle another town down here. And what's interesting, Samaria is just kind of holding. Down in Africa, Congo's up to 3. They're trying to settle down here. Alexander's slowly moving his way down there. But I don't know if he's going to be able to get there. America declared war on the Cheyenne. Interesting. They're actually not even bordering them, so I wonder why. I do wonder why. Being a little aggressive there, America. Japan does have 3 cities now. North Korea does have double archers up against slingers and barbarians. Warriors, rather. Still, China is pulling ahead with its troops. And Delhi is starting to fall. That archer, too, is not long for this world, so... Got a very interesting first couple of... first 60 turns or so, how's France doing here? France still has its 3 towns. It doesn't look like it's building a 4th settler. Spain is just like completely trapped, so they're gonna eventually probably get murdered. Nubia did come settle up here, so Egypt's in a really awkward spot as well, because their 2 towns are pretty far away. Oh no, they actually lost Thebes. Nubia actually took over Thebes. I didn't realize these 2 guys were at war, and they may actually, Egypt may lose one of their settlers too, so Egypt might not be long for this world. And they also have an aggressive Samaria on their border, so oof. Carthage is kind of hanging out over here. How's the Persian War going? Let's go ahead and stop the autoplay here. And if I can stop the autoplay, there we go. Delhi, they did get a settler. They did get another archer, so India may actually survive this war just yet. And how are Indonesia and Philippines doing? And they're still just kind of chilling with their single town. Australia. Oh. Come on, don't crash. There we go. There we go. Probably, like I said, gonna have some crashes. Australia has 2 cities up. They're about to throw their 3rd city down. Philippines are actually exploring over there. Okay. How is the war down here going? Mexico? Oof. It looks like Brazil's actually beating back Mexico. Most of Mexico's troops are, well, actually Mexico only has 2 archers left. So, yeah, and Brazil is sitting here with 4 archers and 5 archers? 4 archers and 2 warriors. So, Mexico is in an awkward spot here. Aztecs are still holding true. It looks like they're actually going to settle in Florida. So America, and it looks like America is going west for some reason. I don't know. Can we actually see? We want settler. I guess America does have some room over here to grow. Then over here, China. It looks like China has definitely won this war. The question is, are they going to piece them out, or are they going to keep pushing forward? We still have some sweet land down here in actual China. We'll see if Khmer or if China grabs it. I still don't know where India is going with their with their settler, but sure. And then Scythia is just hanging tight, man. They just took their 2 towns and they're holding tight. Russia did get a 3rd town up, but they're not in a great spot either. Who is this? Oh, Macedon. Oh, Macedon actually settled up here in between Poland and Russia. All right, there you go. Did they end up ever coming down here and settling yet? They did. They did. So Congo settled here in Macedon. I mean, I guess that makes sense. This is Alexander the Great. I mean, he did, have a gigantic empire, so maybe that makes some sense. Rome and Greece, I think, are still fighting, perhaps. Can't really tell. They didn't really do much of anything to each other. And then, Spain is actually pushing up here. Spain may actually be declaring war on France. So they may actually be able to take some land back. But anyways, I think we're going to wrap up this first episode here. I'm intrigued to see who you guys think is going to actually win this. I still am going to have to go with Congo. That's going to be my guess. As a secondary guess, I don't even know. If I have to pick a number 2, I would go with China, because I think China's in a pretty decent spot, especially if they can expand down here. Then they have all this room to the west, and especially with Scythia not really gaining any momentum, nor is Scythia in a position to get any horses. I'm going to have to go with China. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any other comments, let me know. Go ahead and hit the like button, and as always, subscribe, join the game comment, and I'll see you guys next episode. Bye.